Hi everyone, welcome back. This evening we've got a lovely little practice. We're going to remain on the floor for the duration. Just try and settle down whilst also just easing off the body, allowing a little bit of space into our joints and allowing us just to ensure we're keeping the body under some sort of relaxed maintenance, especially at this time of year. So to begin with, we'll come down, sit on the floor in a nice comfy position. Feel free to sit on any blocks, maybe a cushion, just anything that lifts you out and up out of the lower back. We'll begin here, so begin by closing the eyes or softening them and begin to slow down the breath, inhaling through the nose and out through the nose. Inhaling in and exhaling out. As we do this, just take an eye across the body, making sure we're not rounding in our lower back, sitting up nice and tall, shoulders back and away from the ears, head slightly tucked, just a little bit on the chin so we get that nice extension, and then that mannequin string's pulling us up from the crown of our head. If you've been sitting at a desk all day, this might feel a little bit uncomfortable here, but it's just because this is usually what we're used to instead of up nice and proud. The more we do this, the more natural it'll begin to feel again. And we'll just continue to breathe nice and slowly. So we're just introducing oxygen into the body. Try, if you can, to maybe drown out my voice, just focusing on the breath itself, beginning to internalize. Take a quick note through the body. Is there any little niggles, any little tightnesses, maybe a muscle that you're struggling a little bit to switch off? Just take note of it, maybe set an intention for it throughout this practice. And then from here, feel free to allow the light back into the eyes. And we'll begin by taking our left arm to the ground, maybe taking a hand up, or if it's available to you, dropping that elbow to the floor. Really grounding through both sit bones, and then lifting the right arm up just to point to the ceiling here. And then if it's available to you, maybe taking it overhead, ensuring we're not hunching the shoulders. Continue to breathe nice and deep. Try and stay nice and long, so from your sit muscle to the tip of your fingers, just try and stretch out as far as you can. Then on an inhale, we'll rise up. Then we're simply just going to take it to the other side, dropping the right elbow down if that's available to you, maybe pointing the left arm up, or maybe overhead. Try to really push your weight into both sit bones. We don't want to be hunching up, we want to get up nice and strong. This should create a natural bit of an arch in the side body. Obviously, the tighter you are, you might only be able to take your hand and your shoulder so far, but just play around with it, see whatever's comfortable for you this evening. Then on an inhale, we're going to rise up. And we're just going to take it to the first side again, coming down on our left, exhaling down. Take a nice big inhale here. And then on an exhale, what we're going to do is we're going to come forward, rounding out the back as we exhale. Then as we inhale, swinging the left arm up so that we've reversed the posture on the other side of the body. And then as we exhale again, really rounding out the lower back, And as we come to the other side, really stretching out, opening up the chest, getting nice and long here. Nice big inhale. And then as we exhale, we'll just go back and forth a couple of times. Really feeling that stretch across the spine. Exhaling, coming forward, rounding out. And inhaling, opening up the chest, getting nice and straight, nice and long. And then one more time, exhaling, coming round. Inhaling, nice and long. Then on your next inhale, we'll rise up to seated. Okay, from here, going to just do a few rotations with the neck. So we're just going to begin by spinning little circles in one direction. And then as we go, just gradually make them bigger, leading with the nose. So you're using the full extension of the neck, nice and long. Don't worry if you feel a little bit of crackling here. If it feels sore at all, feel free to stop. And then reversing, so begin with a big circle. Full movement of the neck, keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. And then over time, slowly reducing the size of that circle. Until we eventually get back to center. Very nice. So from here, and come on onto all fours to tabletop pose. Get yourself nice and comfortable, stacking the shoulders over the elbows, over the wrists, hips over the knees. And we're just going to do a few cat-cow here. So inhaling, bringing the chest through nice and proud. And then as we exhale, really pulling our lower abdomen into the back body. Inhaling, coming back through again. Then exhaling out. Really slowing down the movement, time with the breath. Try and keep the shoulders down and away from the ears here. Maybe taking your armpits to point directly in front of you. Not your armpits, sorry, your elbows. And that'll just ensure that the shoulders are nice and open. And then coming up, back into tabletop. Going to do a little bit of dog bird here. So inhaling, keeping the core nice and engaged, keeping everything nice and flat. We're just going to lift opposite arm and leg, stretching out nice and long. Exhaling, bringing it back down. Ideally the core, the torso not moving at all. And then inhaling, taking up the other opposing limbs. Stretch out nice and long. Exhaling and bringing it down. We're just going to do this in time with our breath, keeping everything nice and controlled here. I'm trying to make as long a line as we can from the tips of our fingers to the tips of our toes. One more round through, lifting opposing limbs up, nice and long, bring it down, and keeping it nice and slow, nice and controlled, last limb, and bringing it down. Okay, from here, now work a little bit more on the back body, especially across those hip flexors, but we'll keep it nice and easy. So to inhale, we're just going to lift up our right leg to a nice 90-degree rotation. Then as we exhale, bringing it forward to touch opposing elbow. As we exhale and vacuum out the lower body. Inhaling, coming up to a nice 90-degree tilt. Exhaling, bringing it to the other elbow this time. Really caving in. Inhaling, coming up. So this is almost like cat-cow here, except we're just adding in a little bit of a variation. Moving our core and our abs in different directions to what we were doing earlier. But still getting that inhale, lifting the chest up and through. And then as we exhale, still really rounding out the back body, really vacuuming out the lower abdomen into the back body. Then one last time, bring it up 90 degrees, bring it to one elbow, then bring it down to the floor. We're just going to change what side of the body we do this on now, so lifting up the opposing leg. Nice and long stretch across the front of the leg. You might be feeling this a little bit in the lower back. And then as we exhale, rounding out, bring our elbow to the opposing, bring our knee to the opposing elbow. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, coming back down, really vacuuming out that abdomen. Inhaling, coming up. Take it to the opposing elbow this time. And coming up. Remember to keep everything activated here. And then one more time, bringing it to an elbow, then releasing back down to the floor. Okay, from here, going to come up onto our shins. We're just going to do a little bit camel pose, so we'll take this in steps, just go as far as you want to take it. So to begin with, we're going to inhale and come back. Just going to grab hold of one ankle and then lift ourselves back up. Inhaling, take it to the other side and lifting ourselves back up. So as we do this, we want to ensure we're really pushing forward with our glutes, really opening up the front half of the body, just rotating the shoulders so that we get purchase on the feet. And hopefully we might start to feel a little bit of an opening going down the front of the body, maybe the hip flexors, maybe the quads. We're just rotating around here, just nice and slow. Inhaling, coming down. Exhaling, coming up. Inhaling, coming down. Exhaling, coming up. So we should be starting to form that D shape, the curve of the back. Okay, on the next one, we're going to bring the arm down again. We're going to take the opposing one up to the ceiling. Exhaling, coming back forward. Changing round. Inhaling, leaning back. Bringing the opposing arm up nice and long. Okay, for those that want to just take it that far, feel free to continue on with that movement. Otherwise, what we're going to do here is on an inhale, we're going to come back, go and grab hold of each ankle, maybe one at a time if that feels better, opening up the chest, really pushing the hips forward, and then if it doesn't hurt, you don't feel it cricking your neck, feel free to maybe let the head roll back And in theory, you should maybe start to look like a capital D here. So if you're tight across the chest, you should feel a nice opener across the chest and the shoulders. If you're tight across the hips, you might feel it a lot through the hip flexors, maybe the quads. Just breathe. Then on your next inhale, rising up nice and tall. And then on an exhale, we're just going to come down into child's pose, getting our arms up nice and long in front of us, letting the head rest to the ground here. If you want an extra level of stretch, use the friction between the mat and your hands to maybe pull a little, and that might allow a little further stretch in the elbows and the armpits. As you inhale, you'll feel that rise in the back body. And as you exhale, you just feel that nice deflation. Okay, and then from here we'll rise up. We'll come into a nice seated position. So again, feel free to use a block here if you feel you need to. Just again, even if you don't tend to use them, just allows us to just sit out of our lower back without much effort, which is always very nice. Kicking our right foot forward, toes pointing up. We're going to take our opposing foot and just cross it over here. Cross over the right leg. We're going to inhale, lift our right arm up. Exhale, rest it on the outside edge of the left leg. Take a nice big inhale, get nice and tall. And then as we exhale, rather than cricking the neck, try and pull the chest round. Or at least set the intention of trying to open up the torso, getting nice and long rather than trying to use the shoulders and the head to bring everything with you. Try and open up from the chest to bring it round. As you inhale, feel that expansion, feel the intensity of the stretch. And as you exhale, see if there's a little bit of space you can maybe come around a little bit further. Then on your next exhale, we'll just come back to the front. We're just going to swap over here, bring the left arm down to the ground, sorry, our left leg. We're going to bring our right leg and cross it over. Inhaling, get up nice and tall, stretching nice and high. Exhaling, bringing it over that right leg. Take a nice big inhale, nice and tall. And then exhale, start to rotate it round. If you don't get very far here, don't worry about it. Just get to wherever you can comfortably hold this stretch. As you inhale again, just imagine that mannequin string really pulling you up nice and tall. And that will allow you to maybe get a little bit more space to be able to twist. And on an exhale, we'll release back to the front. And then from here, we're just going to sit nice and tall, raising the arms up, nice big inhale. Then exhale, leaning forward, grabbing hold of maybe our shins, maybe our big toes with our middle and index finger if that's available for you. And then from here, I think just to begin with, we'll everyone just bend their knees very slightly so that way we can rest our lower abdomen and our stomach on our quads. Take a nice big inhale to stretch out the back. Then as we exhale, just rest nice and easily over our feet. And our intention is to kind of get our face beyond our knees here. Keeping the elbows in nice and tight. And similar to child's pose, as you inhale, feel that expansion in the back body. If you feel like you can start taking it further, maybe start to just lengthen out the knees. It's very slowly. We're not trying to do anything to massage our ego here. We're just trying to take it out until we can feel the intensity of the stretch. Breathing nice and deeply. Ensure those toes are still pointing towards the ceiling, really flexing them. Then inhale, come up to a flat back. And for those that might want to take it a little step further, we're going to scoop round the outside of the foot here, toes holding on to the base of our feet, thumbs over at the base of the toes, and we're just going to press on the toes so that they're all aligned nice and flat here. Take a nice big inhale and exhale, release back down, folding forward. If you need to take a little extra bend in the knee here, feel free to. It's a little bit more of an intense stretch. Inhaling, coming back up, we'll release that pose, and then to finish with, we'll just come down to the floor nice and slowly, stretching out nice and long from head to toe. And to finish off, we'll just bring our arms to our side, or maybe in cactus pose, whichever you feel the most benefit from this evening. Going to bring our feet together and open out the knees. So we're getting a nice, gentle but intense stretch in the inside of the legs, maybe into the groin here. Going to slightly tuck the chin. We're just going to remain here for a few minutes. Just continue to breathe nice and deeply. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. We're just going to continue this motion. Allow your body to just sink into your mat here. we're just going to wiggle the fingers and the toes, bring our knees back up to touch each other. We're just going to take a small roll to the side, going up to a nice seated position. Sitting up nice and tall here. Again, maybe just taking that block or cushion one last time just to get 1 or 2 more breaths out of our lower back. And thank you for joining me today. Namaste. Hope you have a lovely day ahead. Hopefully everything's feeling a little bit refreshed for your day, or maybe if it ends your day. Whatever you're doing, I hope you have a good one. Bye now.